Good evening, everyone, and what a delightful and important night we are gathered here to be a part of. Some of you may know me, some of you may not, but I'll introduce myself anyway. My name is Chidera Eggerue. I'm popularly known online as the Slumflower, and I'm the... Oh, a whoop for me, thank you. I'm popularly known online as the Slumflower, and I'm the creator of the viral movement #SaggyBoobsMatter. I'm also the author of the Sunday Times #1 bestseller, What a Time to Be Alone. Some of you may even recognize me as the host of my brand new podcast, The Slumflower Hour, but tonight is not about me. A couple weeks ago, I received an Instagram DM from a very special woman. Out of the blue, she asked me if I could moderate and in conversation with her to a live audience at the Southbank Centre, and of course, I said yes. Some of us grew up watching this woman follow her dreams on the ITV screen. Many of us lived out our own dreams watching her perform on sold-out stages and stadiums across the seas. But tonight, this woman is going to tell us about what it really means to bring a dream to life, and why all you need to do is believe. Growing up, Leigh-Anne had pop star tunnel vision. In 2018, Leigh-Anne Pinnock auditioned for X Factor. The rest of that journey is, of course, history. A decade later, Little Mix became one of the biggest best-selling girl groups of all time, with over 75 million records sold worldwide. Woo indeed, yeah. I agree. However, being a part of one of the world's biggest pop groups in a predominantly white industry, whilst also touring predominantly white countries, came with its own unique set of challenges too, especially as a mixed-race black woman. On stage, Leigh-Anne remembers feeling like no one was paying her any attention at all. And eventually, it all became too much. At first, Leigh-Anne took her experience as a result of personal failings, and for years was trying to prove herself. It was only when Little Mix toured in Brazil that she experienced crowds with tons of black fans calling out her name and cheering for her. An encounter with a fan on that trip ended up going viral when Leigh-Anne was overcome with emotion as they expressed their love and gratitude for her. In 2020, in the wake of the uplift of the Black Lives Matter movement, Leigh-Anne took to social media to speak out on her experiences of feeling unseen, unheard, and unsupported through her decade of touring the world, and the response was overwhelming. Off the back of such an incredible reception, Leigh-Anne presented a BBC documentary on the topic called Race, Pop, and Power, and launched her own initiative, the Black Fund, to help support black charities and organizations. And while the documentary scratched the surface of Leigh-Anne's experiences within the music industry, there's plenty more to come from the star on telling her own story. Leigh-Anne Pinnock is now on a new journey as a solo artist, taking her career into her own hands. With the releases of Don't Say Love and My Love featuring Ira Starr, Leigh-Anne is running out of those gates swinging, and she isn't holding back on making what she loves. Her memoir, Believe, written with author Natalie Morris, is out now, and today we'll be diving deep into Leigh-Anne's heart, mind, and world. Please, everybody in this room, give the warmest, brightest, loudest welcome to Leigh-Anne Pinnock.
In my throat that whole time you were talking. That speech was so beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you for being here. Everyone, I think we need to clap again because this woman is incredible.
Thank you. Wow. We're here.
This is it. Leigh-Anne, I'm grateful to be part of such an important moment for you, and I'm sure everybody in this room would agree. I am proud of you.
Thank you so much.
As the author of Believe, are you proud of yourself?
I am so proud. Yeah, I mean, I've been writing the book for about over a year now, so to have it finally out in the world, it's been a long time coming, and yes, I'm very proud. I am.
So you said you've been writing this book over the period of the year. What has this past year been like for you, and how has it influenced this book?
So obviously I touched on some of my experiences in the group in my documentary, Raise, Pop and Power, but I felt like there was just so much more that I had to be open about. So many different stories that happened on my journey that I really wanted to delve into. Even going back to childhood to now, there's just a lot to say, you know? So yeah, it just felt like the perfect moment to do this memoir.
In your new book, Believe, you touch deeply on your moments of feeling isolated and insecure as the only black girl in Little Mix. How did you mentally cope with this identity struggle while feeling lost?
I feel like for so many years I pushed the feelings down. Like I can remember like right at the beginning getting into the group, and there was like moments where like on the show like my lines were taken away from me. And like there was one time where I had to basically fight for the part that I wanted to sing. I said, I would love to sing this part in Don't Let Go, and when we did on Vogue one week. And one of the producers was like, we'll sing it then. Like really put me on the spot. And then I did it, and she was like, oh, that was great, you can have it. And there were sort of moments like that that just sort of really chipped away at my confidence. And then like as the years went on, like sometimes fans would walk past me, or like there was one time where like I was asked to take a picture with another girl and the fan, and I was just like no, and like walked away. Like moments that just really made me feel unseen. And yeah, I just think like as the years went on and I was so struggling to understand what it was, like what is it about me that's not clicking here? And yeah, I ended up having more vocal lessons and thinking I need to talk more in interviews, I need to be more confident, like what is it? Like putting the blame on me. And then I guess like as the years went on, for me, one of the awakenings was Brazil, the moment that I performed there. And yeah, the crowd was predominantly black. And for the first time in my career, I felt seen. And I was like, how have I toured the world and never felt this feeling before? And for me, that was the moment where I kind of like woke up to it and started to understand this feeling more and why it was happening.
It's so painfully ironic to hear a woman of your scale of stardom experiencing this level of feeling unseen, especially for being black. It makes me wonder about the little black girls who see themselves in your journey and in your story, and they're experiencing that erasure and feeling invisible too. What were the ways you viewed yourself in those moments when the world was making you feel invisible?
I think what was hard about it was the fact that I didn't get it, because like I went to like a multicultural school and like I was never taught that my race was going to hold me back. Like that was just, it wasn't something that was in my mind. Obviously I knew that racism was there, but it's like we weren't really having these conversations as much, and I just felt like I could do anything, you know, and so yeah, I think when I was put into the group and all of a sudden it just hit me, I just struggled with it. And like I can remember coming off like stage sometimes and crying and speaking to my manager about it at the time, and it was very much like, it's in your head, Leigh-Anne, it's in your head, like you're amazing, you're fine, like, and I'm just there like, no, there's something wrong here. And then I think as well, like maybe had my team been a bit more diverse, maybe I would have felt more represented and could have spoken to more people about it, and there would have been a better understanding. Yeah.
So Leigh-Anne, now that you're in a place where you've really processed the bulk of this emotion and this experience, why did you feel like it was important to write about this in your book, Believe?
Yeah. I mean, I've always been passionate about using my platform, and I think if I didn't say anything, like if I didn't open up about it, like, what would I be, why, you know? Like, I just think I'm here for a purpose and a reason, and if I can inspire people, and especially young black women, to go for their dreams and nothing, like, don't let anything hold you back, you know? Like, you could do it. Like, and for me as well, like, I'm so tired of doubting myself and blaming me and like putting those thoughts in my head. Like, I'm bored of it, and I'm not that person anymore. And I wanted to show as well, like, how important it is to own your power and just take it. And that's what I'm doing. Yeah.
Leigh-Anne, black woman to black woman, I deeply respect you. And adding on to that layer, someone who is also in the industry, not at the scale you're at, but has experienced how the nooks and crannies of this industry operates. I understand the risks that you take in choosing to be outspoken. I know that it has been scary at certain points to use your voice. I know that there have been times when you've had to consider, should I say this, should I not? Will people understand me? I am so moved by how much you've chosen to give yourself to your art, to your platform. I want to ask off the back of that, why do you think that there are black women in positions similar to yours who are scared to speak up?
I mean, the last week, obviously, like, I've been really open about my experiences and talking about race a lot. And I saw on Twitter, like, some of my fans were defending me because there were some, like, bad comments on the One Show tweet that went out, because I was on the One Show the other day, and yeah, there was just some ignorant comments, and bless, this one fan was really, like, going in for me and, like, trying to like protect me, and I just DM'd her and I was like, listen, I'm not doing it for them, you know? There is always going to be backlash, there's always going to be people that just aren't gonna get it, and that's fine, because do you, like, I'm not doing it for you, you know? Like, I know that there are people out there that I am inspiring, and I'm so proud to know that I could be making a difference here, you know? I'm not going to sit back and not say anything. So, yeah, if you're bored about it, to the people out there, I don't really care, because... And as well, I think, like, I remember, like, when the BLM movement was happening, and all of a sudden the world was, like, awoken to race, and I remember thinking then, and people were saying then, like, this can't be a moment, this has to be a movement. And it almost felt like it was almost like the trend to talk about it then. And it does feel like it's kind of like fizzling out a little bit. So, yeah, like, I guess I'm trying to keep that movement going and just keep talking.
Thank you. What did you used to believe about yourself before you found your power and really chose yourself?
Ooh, I believed in my resilience, because I felt like I had a lot of setbacks, especially when I was growing up in my hometown. A lot of people that, like, put me down or just said I wouldn't amount to anything, and I just didn't listen. Like, I was so determined to be a pop star. Like, I just wanted to sing, and I just blocked out all the noise. And for me, I guess I learned about myself that, like, I'm just a determined individual, and I always knew that about myself.
How would you define resilience in your terms? Because you're an embodiment of it.
I always think as well, like, all of those years of pushing those feelings down, like feeling like not as equal as the other girls, or feeling less than. Like, I think to myself, how did you keep going? Like, why didn't you just, like, throw in the towel and just say, I don't want to do this anymore? And, like, I look back on her, and how she just kept going and like championed on. And yeah, I'm just proud of that girl in that situation.
From the outside looking in, anybody who observes your journey would be like, you were in one of the biggest selling girl bands in the world, you had all of this safety net built around you, why would you choose to go solo? How do you respond to that question? Because I'm sure you probably had that question in your mind too when you were choosing to take this leap, which I believe has paid off.
Thank you. I mean, I don't think I would have been ready 5 years ago. I just think when you're in something for so long, like we were together for like 12 years, and we had the best time, by the way. Like, I adore those girls so much, and I miss them. But I feel like for all of us, it was the right time. You know, it's like that want to just do it on your own and like know what it feels like to do it on your own and know that you can do it on your own. And I knew I just had to keep singing. Like, I don't want to not ever sing, you know? So that wasn't even a question. Like, I knew that I had to be a solo artist. And also, I always say that I feel like I'm doing it for that little girl who had a dream, that was so determined and had her dream come true. And as much as it was incredible because she had her sisters around her and loved every second and laughed all the time in that sense, there was still something that was missing. And I don't know, I feel like that's why this part of my life is so special and this solo journey is so special to me, because I'm doing it for her, that little girl. Yeah. I'm gonna have to get these out in a minute. I'm gonna get one ready just in case, because I feel it coming.
While you're preparing your tissue, I want to ask you, what would you call this part of your life?
Oh.
Because right now, she's a mother, she's an author, she's a solo musician, right? Thank you, exactly, I agree.
Oh, do you know what? How I like to see it is everything now is a bonus. Like, in terms of like the numbers, the number one singles, this, that, and just all the incredible stuff, the awards, everything that we did was so unbelievably amazing. And everything now is about me just enjoying it and putting out music that just resonates with me and that I connect with and that is close to my heart. And I just want to have fun with it, you know? And I think sometimes I can kind of get caught up in, oh gosh, has this done the numbers? Like, has it got as many views as I want it to have? And I'm trying to just stop doing that, because I don't need to, you know? Like, I'm proud of what I'm putting out, and it's freaking amazing. So I feel good. I feel good.
I love that you're so proud of yourself, because I think it's important, especially for little young people in the room, or even black women in the room. We need to hear people say, I am proud of myself, especially those whose journeys look like ours. We're often taught as young black women to keep our achievements to ourselves so we don't come across too arrogant or to display an ego that might make people be put off being around us. But if anything, the more I see women like yourself standing firm and tall in who they are, the more I recognize that, oh, I too should be proud of myself.
Exactly.
Why do you think we are so scared to embrace pride and be vocal about our achievements, especially as women?
That's a really good question. I mean, you said it, it's that sort of thing, like not wanting to come across too arrogant or take up too much space, but like that's why you inspire me, because you take up space. Like, I love it so much. You are so confident. And I think it's funny about me, like I feel like when I step out on stage and I perform, especially like when I'm dancing and when I'm doing my choreo, and just like, I feel like the confidence just like radiates out of me. But like right now, like doing this public speaking, like I'm like, I'm
You're doing so well.
Or like sometimes like when I walk into a room, like, and sometimes I feel like I'm an introvert doing an extrovert's job, and that's just me. But yeah, I think it's so important to say to yourself every day that you're proud and that you're doing incredible.
Leigh-Anne, I'm so curious about what you just said. Why do you think it's easier for you to sing your feelings instead of to say them?
I have no idea, but I feel like it's a skill to public speak. Like, it is a skill. But yeah, I always feel like I get more like scared beforehand, and it's always fine. But like, I don't know.
And how do you manage that fear?
Just do it. Just do it. There's no time to be fearful. Just get out there, and it's good to throw yourself out into the deep end. And yeah.
Throughout your journey as a musician, as a mother, what are the biggest fears that you've overcome?
Oh, wow. I think one of the biggest fears, maybe like going solo, was, like how many like fans are going to come like across, from like the Little Mix world, like how many are going to come with me, like is this going to do well? I guess all of those thoughts. And I think when there's so much expectation as well, like coming from such a massive machine, so all of those things were like really fearful. Even like motherhood as well, like when I was pregnant, like, am I going to be a good mum? Like, am I going to, like do my mum proud and do my sisters proud? But yeah, I think a little bit of fear is good sometimes, but it's important for it to not consume you, I guess.
Did you feel any fear when writing Believe?
Yes, I think, another fear is speaking out, and especially on issues such as race, like that's a really scary thing to talk about, because I guess like for me, even like before I announced I was doing the documentary, like getting some hate from the black community, like as well as like the white community, like it was just like a lot. But then I remember sitting down with Dawn Butler, and she said to me, when the history books are written, what's going to be said next to your name? And that for me was the drive that I needed to just, I know why I'm doing this, like I know why, because I am inspiring people, and you're not going to be everyone's favorite flavor, you're just not, and that's okay.
So Leigh-Anne, when history books are written, what's going to be said by your name?
Oh gosh. We'll just wait for them to be written and see.
Ooh, I love that answer. For anyone in the room who is struggling to believe in their self, what would you want them to take away from your belief system?
I think the idea of if you ever get knocked down, just get back up. And because that's part of life, like you have to experience those struggles and those setbacks. Like not everyone is going to see what you see. And so what? Because as long as you see it and as long as you believe it, that is really all that matters. So yeah, just never lose that self-belief and that self-worth.
What's your favorite thing about yourself?
Ooh, she asks good questions, doesn't she? I think my kindness and like my caring side here. Because you know what? You meet a lot of people in this industry, and it takes so much energy to be a dick. Do you know what I mean? Like, but it does. Like, just be nice. Like, there's absolutely no excuse for it. And I have, I think, like my friends and my family to thank for that. Like, they're just all humble, and I just feel like really grounded with them. And also, I speak about it in my book, like my nanny Doreen. Oh God, here she comes.
Oh, it's okay. Allow yourself to feel.
The kindest person I've ever met, and I feel like she instilled that into me. So yeah, I think that's like a really beautiful thing. The fact that I can feel her in that way. Yeah.
What would Nanny think of you right now? I'll repeat my question. What would Nanny think of you right now?
My nanny. Oh, she'd be so proud. And I think that's what I find sad as well that they never, my grandma, Norma, never got to see me live my dream out. And like I'd pray that they were here, you know, witnessing this. But I know they are looking down. But yeah, oh gosh, they'd be so proud. So proud.
It's so important as Black people to keep our ancestors close to us. And the fact that you brought up Nanny and your grandma, it's such a beautiful thing. How have they influenced who you are?
Well, yeah, I guess like with my nanny, when you think of like a nan, like we made cakes and we took the dogs for walks and like we made fresh fish and chips, and like she was just this gorgeous woman. And then me and my sister used to look forward to going to see her like every weekend. And yeah, she loved animals and she was just so kind. And I think it's really funny because, you know, like you find out things about yourself like later on in life, like we're constantly learning. And when I was writing the book, it clicked and I was like, gosh, yeah, like I must have got that nature from her, you know, I really do feel like she instilled that into me. And my grandma, Norma, we didn't get to spend as much time with her, and I write about it in the book. We didn't really get on with my granddad. And I think that was one of like our biggest regrets, that we didn't just embrace that time with her because she was an angel. And I remember one of the last memories I have of her was she was dancing around in our living room and she just looked so happy, and like, I'm grateful that I have that memory of her.
Thank you for sharing that. I think it's really delicate and brave that you touch on the concept of regret in your book, Believe, because regret is such a hard thing to deal with. I think in our lives as human beings, at some point we will encounter that feeling. How do you manage regret?
I don't like to regret too much. I think there are certain things that like I do feel that about, like my grandma, but like in terms of like my career and things that I've done, like I feel like everything happens for a reason. It's like I take comfort in that, you know, I don't feel like I'd be sitting here if something else didn't happen before, you know, like I feel like everything's kind of worked out the way it should work out, and it's all about trusting the process, and like you are right where you need to be. I believe that.
What has been your favourite part of the process so far?
Favourite part of the process? Creating life, I guess. Yeah, like I have these two angels that I'm bringing up, and like we were saying earlier, like it just puts everything into perspective, you know. Like I can be having a bad day or be feeling a certain way. I wake up and I see them, and gosh, I'm so grateful for that. You know, like they just changed everything and made me the happiest person ever, and I'm so lucky. So yeah, them.
Were your children around at any point when you were writing Believe?
Do you know when they were around? When I'm writing the music, then they're around. They were in Jamaica when I did my writing camp, and there's one song that's for them, and I've got this beautiful moment where they're sitting in the middle of the studio and I'm playing the song, and I can just see like the scenery of Jamaica, and they're just there, and this song is playing, and it's just so beautiful. And yeah, can't wait to show them that when they're older.
What do you think your babies think of you?
Oh, well, I don't know if they're old enough to know who I am yet, but I mean, they are fans. Like, they are obsessed with my love. Yeah, they're so obsessed, and they sing it, and yeah, it's constantly, see mama dancing, like they're obsessed. But yeah, I mean, what I want them to think of me is that their mum is independent and strong and fearless and a go-getter, and she doesn't give up. Like, that's the main thing, yeah. She does not give up.
I'm curious to know what belief system you're raising your children on.
I want them to know that they can do anything. Like, I want them to... Like when my mum and dad were bringing us up, like they they didn't teach us that our race would hold us back. And although sometimes like I kind of wish I was prepared a little bit in a way, I think like I appreciate what they did, because I literally felt like I could touch the stars. Like I felt like I could do anything, and that's I think why I was so determined. So I'm taking that, and I'm like, I want my children to know that literally like there is no limit to what you can do.
That's beautiful, especially because, you know, you just touched on saying that you sometimes wish your parents prepared you a bit more for the world you're growing into. With what you know and what you've lived, how are you preparing your kids for the world that they're inevitably going to encounter?
So my dad once said, teach your children love because the world will teach them hate. And I always carry that with me. But I think what's important is that like they're going to know their culture. They're going to know who they are. They're going to be so proud of who they are. And I think as well, like as time goes on and we're having these open conversations more and more about race, I just hope that it is a little bit easier for them growing up, you know. Although sometimes I feel like the world is going backwards, and it's a scary fucking place. I'm going to do what I can, I guess, to support them. Yeah.
Do you have a favourite part of Believe?
Oh, one of my favourite chapters is Don't Mess with the Pinnocks.
Oh.
And it just shows you like my family unit and how like we just have each other. There's an incident that I talk about in the book where I get into a little something in a club, and I call my sister and I'm like, you have to come. And she literally, it was Christmas Eve, and like she runs out the house and she's like, where are you? I'm coming now. And she literally races there and comes to my aid. And yeah, you're gonna have to read the rest to know what happens. But honestly, yeah, we definitely have each other's backs, that's for sure.
There was drama in the club.
Oh, it was like an episode of Shameless, honestly. But yeah.
Leigh-Anne, I can't imagine you in the club. Like, do you still go clubbing?
Not anymore. Yeah, I'm a bit old now. No.
So how do you now have fun and unwind?
What do I do? I watch series. I'm a homebody. I relax with my friends. I chill out. I like a cheeky drink now and again.
Oh.
Yeah, I do.
What's your drink of choice?
Vodka tonic.
Oh.
What's yours?
I do love me a picante.
Oh, nice. Okay.
So, Leigh-Anne, do you have a side of you that is wild and fun-filled? Because I feel like she's in there.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Like, I am so silly. And I feel like if you've grown up with me throughout the years, like, you know that I'm a little bit weird. Like... Like, we all were a little bit weird, me and the girls, but I love that. I absolutely love it. Yeah, I'm silly.
What would you say that's weird about you?
But, like, weird in the best way. Like, it's good to be weird. Like, if you're not weird, then that's weird, you know? Like,
right?
What's weird? Quite a lot, to be honest. Yeah, but I feel like it comes out as you get to know me. My friends
or you have
will know.
to read the book.
Yeah. Go read the book, yeah. Where are my friends? Where are my girls? Are they here? I can't see you, but I love you.
What was the hardest part of writing Believe?
I think talking about the experiences in the group, for sure. Like, my struggles with my identity, race, because it's heavy talking about it every day, you know? It's really heavy. And as much as, like I said before, like, I am going to use this platform that I have and do what I can, like, after this promo is sort of done from the book, I'm giving myself a break, you know? Like, I don't feel like it's, like, our responsibility to keep talking about it. And I think for me, like, well, I was so sick of talking about it. I wanted to do something, which is why I created the Black Fund, to put my money where my mouth is and just take some action, you know? Yeah. Because, like, yeah, like I said before, like, I have this fan base, I have this platform, and, like, the more that I can spread the awareness and actually make some change. Like, I'm going to do that.
Can you tell us more about the Black Fund?
Yes. So it's a charitable organisation, and it's like a helping hand to other Black charities out there. And I think we've helped about 15 charities now, grassroots Black charities.
Oh,
yeah. Like, we've done a lot of work, and there's obviously so much more to go, and like I just want to grow it now. And I think it's like a powerful place to be as well. Like, if like brands approach me, like, and they want to work with me, okay, well, this is my charity, give some money, you know? And again, put your money where your mouth is.
Why do you think it's important to use your position to pay it forward?
What, just race, you mean, to?
In terms of you using your platform to create a charity, and through that charity you're shedding light on other initiatives that need help. Why do you think that using your position matters? Because some people, they don't do that.
I think a massive part of it now is having children. I think I want to do what I can to make their experience better and to change as much as I can. I just think as well, like, for myself, opening up about those experiences and being honest and vulnerable has like helped me heal in a way. I think it was a really overwhelming moment when I first spoke up about race, and people listened. You know, like, there was a time that I did in 2018 and it fell on deaf ears. But when the movement did happen and I put that video out, and all the support that I got, and like other members of girl bands, like Black members, like reached out to me and like said that like I was them and they were me, you know, like that was like, I'd never heard that before. So yeah, part of it was to help myself heal, but also because, like I said, like what would I be if I didn't?
Yeah. What do you love the most about being a Black woman?
Oh, that is a really good question. I think, so when I first got into the group, Frank Gatson said to me, "You're the Black girl, you're gonna have to work 10 times harder." And as much as sometimes I do find that exhausting, at the same time, I feel like the drive I have as a Black woman, and like that want to be the best and like and amazing, and like it's kind of like, yes, it can be exhausting sometimes, but I'm also so happy that I'm equipped with that, you know. And I think that's what makes me me and makes me stand out. Yeah.
What do you love the most about being Leigh-Anne Pinnock?
Good question.
Please do tell.
I love everything. I love everything about being me, and I think like it's normal to have those doubts, or it's normal to not feel your best on certain days and whatever, and to put yourself down sometimes. But I think for me, it's like I do this thing when I look in the mirror and I literally say, like, you are fierce, you are powerful, you are beautiful. Like, I feel like I have to do that sometimes just to remind myself, like, yeah, like you're great, you're good, you're doing fine. So yeah, I love everything about Leigh-Anne.
I think this is such a beautiful example of positive self-talk.
Yeah.
Because you'd be surprised, there's a lot of people in your position who are probably still self-deprecating, because this is an industry where you're taught that nothing you're doing is enough, and there's always more to aspire to, and you could be thinner, and you could be taller, and you could be prettier, and you could do all these things to make yourself as augmented as possible for the public gaze. But I am so happy for you that you've reached a place of accepting yourself and being happy with yourself, because some of us are still on that journey. So
I am still on that journey. Like, there are days where I'm like, I feel like shit, and I feel like that's just so normal. But I don't know, for me it's about, like, for my birthday, like I had a weekend. Oh God, I want to upset.
Oh. It's okay. Take your time.
I felt like I had to be on my own. But, God. So...
We're so proud of you.
I felt like I had to be on my own. My husband surprised me with this spa getaway, and then I found out my friends were coming, and I was like, oh, okay, great, amazing. But I think because there was just so much going on, I don't know, sometimes you feel like you just have to have your own space. And my friends came, and it was the best weekend, and I needed it. I needed to be around them. And it just meant everything. And I think being around such strong, incredible women, I just feel so lucky to have that. They're just unbelievable. So I just think it's just important to just surround yourself with good people, and as well, sometimes just put the phone down, social media and shit. Just don't even look, because it's not real. Is it? It's not real, man. Just live in the moment and be present, because that's what matters. And you can spend your life trying to please people and be a certain way for people. Just do you, and that is enough, and it's always been enough.
Thank you for being so vulnerable with us. Why do you think this particular moment of discussing that beautiful friendship you have is so delicate for you to talk about?
I think it's just as I say, just living in the moment and laughing. We belly laughed, and sometimes you just need that. Do you know what I mean? Just that sort of little escape where it's just you and people around you, whether it's family or friends or whatever, and people just uplifting you and holding you. Sometimes you just need that.
That's so beautiful. I'm curious, Leigh-Anne, because you're really showing us a side of yourself that we're so lucky to see, and I'm so grateful to be a part of this moment. In an age of misinformation and celebrity consumption via social media and an inability to put down our phones, people are commonly misconceived, especially celebrities. What's one thing you wish more people knew about you?
Maybe my ambition, I guess, and maybe this idea of juggling so much, but being a mum, but then also being a pop star, being a wife, all these different things. But I think when I look at women, we just get on with it and we just do it. We are so incredible, how we can just juggle all these different things. So yeah, I guess that sort of ambition and drive.
You are very driven. I'm curious to know, as someone who has achieved so much and has a lot of things to be proud of, including this new book, Believe.
Yes. Hey.
What are your aspirations for yourself?
My biggest aspiration is to just be content with everything that I have. I think it's so easy to always aspire to more, and sometimes it's that idea of when is it going to be enough? I just want to be content with what I have, because it's everything. I'm just so grateful. And for me, it's very much being rich in love right now. My family and the people that I have around me, my children, my husband, that is my world, and that is my priority. But then obviously, aside from that, I want to tour as well. I want to just literally sing my songs and hear you guys sing it back to me. I am so excited for that moment, to know that even now, you guys are literally just here to hear me talk about my book, and that just means everything. Thank you so much.
Before I ask questions that audience members have sent in, I would love to ask one more question.
Yeah.
What does it feel like to be loved by so many people?
Oh God, here she goes again. Oh, fucking hell. I love you too. No, I love you too. Very, very overwhelming. In the best way possible. Yeah, no, it feels incredible. And like, as I say, like the way that you guys have supported me and like held me and lifted me up, like you will never understand like, how much that means. Oh God. Thank you. I love you. Dear.
I know I said it before, but I'll say it again. You are such an exemplar and beautiful definition of what it means to allow yourself to be vulnerable and to let yourself feel your emotions in real time. Because I do think that being a public figure, there's a lot of pressure to constantly keep yourself together and conceal your emotions. But I think that whilst you have put this beautiful book, Believe, out into the world for us, your presence here is also showing us what it truly means to just believe in yourself and own yourself. Whether you're feeling wobbly, whether you're feeling vulnerable, whether you're feeling shaky, whether you're feeling happy, sad, scared, all of you matters in its entirety. And I just want to thank you for that.
Oh, that's beautiful. Thank you.
So now I'm going to read some questions that the audience members have sent in. Thank you everyone for the questions you sent. Some of them were hilarious, some of them were very, very insightful. So let's get into it. Emma Barriscale has said, which parts of the book did you find most enjoyable to write?
Ooh. I think probably the end, because I think it's like that realization of stepping into my power and just, again, just being so proud of the skin that I'm in, and it's like sort of rounding that journey up and being this incredible, fierce woman who is just, yeah, as I say, taking it. Yeah.
Alice has asked, what is the inspiration behind the title Believe?
Oh, so Believe has always been my motto. Gosh, I got it tattooed on the back of my neck when I was 18. It's always something that I've had from a young age. Like, I would meet people and tell them, like, just so you know, I'm going to be a pop star. Like, I just believed it. I really did. And I can't actually believe how determined I was. Like, I was just so fixated on this vision of me being this pop star and this singer, and it was everything that I dreamed about. I sang all the time, to the point my sister was like, shut up! Like, belting out Mariah Carey in my bedroom. But, yeah, I forgot the question.
Anna's question, Alice's question was, what is the inspiration behind the title Believe?
Okay, yeah, so I feel like I've just always had that word close to me, and it couldn't have been named anything else.
I just love that you tattooed it on the back of your neck at 18.
No, it's just my word.
Kind of a prophecy.
Yeah, literally.
Luke has asked, oh, somebody having the giggles over there.
What are you laughing about? Share the joke. Do you know what? I know that laugh. That's Rosie, isn't it? I know that laugh. It's funny.
Shout out to Rosie. Luke has asked, who was the first person to read Believe after you finished writing, and why did you choose them?
So I think it was handed to a few people. I think my sister had it, my manager, just like close people, just to kind of like, kind of get some feedback. But yeah, I think probably my sister being like the main person, just trust her opinion. So yeah.
And what was the general feedback when people in your close circle read it?
Amazing. Yeah, this proud and happy. Yeah.
Nerea Martin has asked, what is the message you want to send to the world when people read your book, Believe?
I guess just to believe in yourself, to own your power, know your worth, never let anyone tell you you can't do it, and just defy all odds. That's what I would say.
Travell has asked, what celebrities did you look up to during your career?
Ooh, you, for one. Yes. So, we were talking about this earlier. So, Chidera was one of the first people that I spoke to about my struggles with race and my experiences. And then obviously I remember like having your book as well, and you're just, I said before, like you're just so confident, and the way that you just own rooms when you walk into them, like I've always been very inspired by that. So I'm just really happy you're here, to be honest, and doing this with me. Yeah, she's so amazing. You are.
Thank you so much for that. And I think it's so timely we're having this conversation, because I was saying to my best friend Hussein, who's in the room, that I've been having this recent period of feeling very doubtful of myself, and it's come as a consequence of just being in this industry. As you know, you have the ebbs and flows. Sometimes it's your moment and everyone's calling your name, and then you do have a period where things naturally wind down. I think it's just the order of the universe, really. And it's in those moments where your strength is really defined. And so I'm in that period where I'm reconfiguring and finding my own grounding. So when you reached out to me for us to have this conversation, I was so elated, because you know how things can be in this industry sometimes. This is some insider tea. So in this industry, like sometimes someone's team member will reach out to the other person's team member, and they will sort of orchestrate things. And even if both people know each other, it's usually something that is got quite a few hands and hands in the pies, you know. But the fact that you reached out to me directly made me feel like this is meant to be. And there can be those moments in your life where if you feel overlooked, or if you feel like, oh man, things aren't really happening for me, then out of nowhere, a person sees you and reaches out to you. It just reminds you that you are seen and you are visible. So thank you for being part of that for me.
Oh my God, that's so lovely. Thank you, babe. Thank you.
I really appreciate it. Lee Jackson has asked, what's been the hardest part of going solo, and what has been the most enjoyable?
Ooh, I'm chattering, by the way. I'm really cold. My teeth keep chattering.
Oh no!
So if you see me shivering, it's because I'm cold. What was the last bit of that question again?
Lee Jackson asked, what's been the hardest part of going solo, and what has been the most enjoyable?
The hardest part, I think, well, just not having that sisterhood around me, that unit around me, that safety net with the girls. I think that's what's been hard. And like, everything's on me now, like all eyes are on me. And as much as that's a great thing, it's also scary, you know? And also just everything is just so different. Yes, that's the scary side. The best part, I think, is literally being able to just say what I want to say, write what I want to write, put music out there that I want to put out, that's personal to me, no compromise. And after like 12 years of being in a group, like it's just such a liberating feeling. Like I just feel so free with that. So yeah, that's the pro.
Off the back of Lee Jackson's question, what is the scariest part of having all eyes on you?
Well, when you're in a group and like you mess up the dance routine or something, like there's chances are no one's really looking at you, they're looking at the other girls, so like you can kind of hide it. But now it's like just like you're the focus. But at the same time, like, that's like an amazing thing. I'm excited to show people like this potential that I've got and stuff that they might not have seen with me in the group, you know, like I can really let that out now and show who I am.
Rachel has asked, what is the most important element of your artistry as a soloist that you want the world to recognize? Who is Leigh-Anne to the world, and how have you constructed this person?
I think with my music and with what I'm doing now, I feel like for me a big part of it is visuals. Like I want to create like iconic music videos, and like I know like we're in a very different time now where obviously like with TikTok and things are a lot shorter and like it's more clips as opposed to like obviously long videos, and people don't put as much love into music videos anymore. But I feel like I'm a bit old school like that. I want to put like, you know, my love into that.
No pun intended.
Oh, no pun intended. Wow, I didn't even realise I did that. So yeah, and who is Leigh-Anne? I feel like we were talking about this earlier, I feel like I'm still figuring out who Leigh-Anne is, you know? Like, I think that's kind of normal. Like, I feel like I'm constantly learning about myself. And like, just because I've passed 30, it doesn't mean that I know who I am now. Like, yes, I'm stepping into my power and owning it, but I'm still learning, like, about me. And there was another part of your question.
The other part was, and how have you constructed this person?
How have I constructed her? I think it's through the setbacks and through the struggles and, like, learning from that and picking myself back up again and becoming stronger. So I think through all of that, like, that's how I've built it, I guess, yeah.
In that question you just answered, you said you're still learning yourself. What are the things that you're still learning about yourself?
I think I'm learning every day, like, how much, like, I can take, but still get up and keep going, if that makes sense. I think, like, after, like, those struggles and experiences that I've had, and now obviously being so open and talking about them, like, on a regular basis, like, is, as we were saying, a really tiring thing to do. But the fact that, like, I keep getting out there and doing it, like, I'm really proud of that person that's doing that, you know, and I guess just still learning about my resilience and my strength, like, it's building, like, every day.
Taryn has asked, do you have a favourite part of the book, or is there something you were hesitant to put in?
So there is stuff with my husband, like, our relationship, and I think that was a hard thing, because, and, like, I'm going to be speaking about it in my music as well, and because I really want to show that things aren't perfect. And, like, you might look at Instagram and think things are picture perfect and, like, they have the most amazing relationship and whatever. And yes, like, we are in a great place now, but took a lot to get there. You know, like, we really did have to go through things and shit. But I feel like the way that we made it out of that and the way we got through that, it almost makes it even sweeter, you know, like, we were able to fight for it and to overcome stuff. And yeah, I think that was, like, really hard for me to put into the book. And I remember doing my Audible, and as I was reading it, there was a chunk of it where I was like, this is oversharing. Like, I'm not ready to go this into it. So, like, I remember taking some bits out, but I did really want to show that not everything, like, just nothing's perfect in life, you know, like, it just isn't.
As a public figure, why do you think people are scared to puncture the perception of perfection?
Because I feel like we're made to feel like we have to be perfect, you know, like, us as a society, I feel like we're just conditioned to think that we have to look a certain way, we have to speak a certain way, we have to come across a certain way to fit this thing. I don't know, it's just, there's pressure, you know, to do that. Yeah, that's why I'm just like, social media sometimes, you have to have breaks, because it's just a lot, and it can be so toxic.
Off the back of social media being so toxic, I know you have so many people who love you. What's your favourite thing about social media?
Discord.
Oh!
I love Discord. Oh my God, Discord. I love Discord, yeah. So it's an app where I can talk to the fans, like, and it's like just a little group chat, and I go on and, like, we chat, and, like, it's just really cute. I love it.
This is so random. So how can we find you on Discord? Is it like a secret server?
I'm really bad at technology. I just have it on my phone because my social media person's set up for me. But yeah, there's a link. Thank you, babe. Yeah, my Discordians are in the audience. Yeah.
So what do you love about having that personal connection with your fans? Because you mentioned Discord is like a private group chat, right? What do you love about being in that private space as opposed to larger social media?
It's just safe. It's a safe space. And I think it's important as an artist to be close to your fans. That's why I'm here. I wouldn't be here without them, and like I'm doing this for you guys, and it makes sense to have that connection.
What do you love the most about your fans?
Oh God, she's going to get emotional again. What do I love about my fans? They're just the best. The best. So grateful. And they're all just lovely. And just dedicated and beautiful. Yeah.
And I love that they call themselves the Legion.
Oh, yeah. The Legion. Honestly, I think it was you guys that came up with it, right? Okay. They take that one, and I'm like, all right, cool.
What's the context of that conversation?
Thanks. So, Legion, yeah. How strong and powerful was that, right?
Imagine that being
Legion?
your fan club name, Legion.
Right?
Iconic.
Come on. Yes.
So the last question I have from an audience member before we wrap up, we have like 5 minutes left. Oh. Naima has said, this isn't a question per se, but Leigh-Anne, please be able to wish my sister, Naima, a happy 24th birthday. She's in the crowd tonight and wanted to spend her 24th birthday at Leigh-Anne's talk as she's a huge fan.
Aww. Happy birthday, Naima! Where are you? Oh, happy birthday! I feel like we should sing for you. Shall we all sing together? Ready?
Count us in.
Okay.
1, 2, 3. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to Naima. Happy birthday to you.
Cute. Well, thank you for being here on your birthday. That means a lot.
That's so emotional, and I think that's such an exemplar way of how much of a tight-knit bond you have with your fan base, and I know they're going to ride out for this book.
I mean, there's people here from Belgium, Italy, Portugal, Spain,
Dublin, London, Greece.
Wow. I mean, yeah. The way you've all come here today to be with me for this incredible event, like, it means so much. And yeah, thank you from the bottom of my heart. I love you all, and yeah, thank you.
Before we stop, I would love for you to just impart, like, what's one thing you want people to take from this book, Believe?
Oh, I think it's just don't stop believing in yourself, really. Just keep going. Like, even when you're having those days of feeling like if you're struggling or whatever it is, just do it, because it's in you. Take your power, own it, and show everyone what you're made of.